Good evening to everyone and a warm welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very nice evening. As students, we have all been in a dilemma as to what to do after we have passed out from our college. Should we go for a job or should we do our masters or what to do with the degree that we have been given? And in among all of those things, we have heard about this common term that is the GATE exam. But we don't know what actually GATE exam, what all opportunities come with the GATE exams. So here in this webinar presented by IEEE India Council Student Coordination Team, Demystifying Gate, provides you an opportunity to know about all the opportunities that come with GATE examination. We have with us our speaker for today, Professor John Jose. He's an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. He completed his PhD degree from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, in the field of computer architecture. He has completed his MTech and BTech. He has also been a recipient of prestigious Qualcomm Faculty Award 2021. He is currently serving as the Vice Chair of IEEE India Council. His research group in Multi-Core Architecture and System Lab at IIT Guwahati explores the domain of network on chips, cache management techniques for large multi-core system, non-volatile memories, hardware security, uh, domain-specific hardware accelerators, and disaggregated storage system. So he is here with us today to inform you about the GATE exam and the opportunities that come with this. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kushi. Hope I am audible. Right?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Yes, sir, you're audible.
So thank you for the introduction, and thank you all those who are joining from the student community as well as from the industry. As part of the IEEE India Council, I'm fortunate enough to address the student members also on this important topic of GATE exam. Some of you may have queries, so I will keep it short such that we can have more time for interaction. So I have collected some statistics also by which you will be able to know, like if I study this much, where I stand and why should I write GATE exam and all. So what I have planned is halfway there can be a Q&A session, and at the end also there can be Q&A session depending on the time permits. I leave it to you, the moderator, to take a call at that time. So here is the flow. Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering is an examination that tests the comprehensive understanding of various undergraduate subjects in engineering and in science. It is also the single exam for admission to master's program and recruitment by some public sector companies. I will discuss the details later. GATE exam is conducted jointly by 7 IITs: IIT Bombay, Delhi, Guwahati, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Madras, and Roorkee, and IIC Bangalore. These 8 institutions are being entrusted with the conduct of GATE every year by the National Coordination Board of GATE exam, which is a sub-body of Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Government of India. So there can be a perception, what if I'm not getting admission in this? This duty of these 8 institutes only to conduct exam, whereas the GATE score can be used by any IIT, any NIT, triple ITs, or many universities, and even corporates also look into the GATE score at sometimes at the time of the recruitment. So it's a conduct of exam is being done by this 8 institute. That doesn't mean that it is admission for these 8. So the entire geographical territory of India is divided into 8 zones. So one of these institutes, I have mentioned 7 IITs and IIC Bangalore. So all the cities in India are mapped under one of these 8 institutes. They are called the zonal institutes of GATE. And every year, from among these 8, one of them will have a little added responsibility that is called the Organizing Institute. So GATE 2023 is organized by IIT Kanpur. You can see that the institutes that have been part of the coordination. So what do you mean by this coordination? They takes care of finding out the examination centers, receiving the application, sorting them, and based upon candidate preference, assign the city, the centers, preparation of timetable, issue of admit card, preparation of the question papers, and then at the end, we have to replace the scorecard. Now, if you look into the evolution of GATE, GATE started in 1983 as a common admission for master's program in the IITs. At that time, only 5 IITs were there. And this is the snapshot of the brochure of GATE 1983. And it has grown wider with more participants writing the GATE exam. And like what I mentioned, GATE 2023 is organized by IIT Kanpur. Now, these were the organizing years. I can see that all these 8 institutes have been taking part in organizing, and Roorkee and IIT, they were started after 1995. So they got only 2 chances for being the organizing institutes. So over the years, GATE has grown and matured enough. And since it has been done directly by the elite institutes, lot of care and lot of feedback has been gone into this, and GATE examination has been refined. And accordingly, a lot of student-related services also has been issued such that more people can attend it. This is all about the background of GATE. Now, let me talk about what are the opportunities through GATE. There are 3 things. First one is, of course, admission. A valid GATE score is used for seeking admission to master's program, that is ME or MTech program, and direct doctoral program in engineering, technology, architecture, science, and commerce and arts. Recently, IICT and UGC has told if someone wanted to do PhD, MTech is not a must. You can directly do PhD after a 4-year professional degree, that is a BE or a BTech program. You need to have a good percentage or CGPA or SPA, whatever you call it in your institute, followed by you need to have a GATE score. So this is the idea is more students will work for the research program such that they can target little high-end job. There is always a wrong notion. PhD is all about teaching. No, it is not the case. For teaching, PhD is required if at all you wanted to go higher up the ladder. But PhD is not always pointing to GATE. Even my own experience of in IIT Guwahati over the last 1 decade shows that 80% of our PhD scholars from computer science, they are not landing up in teaching profession. They are being absorbed by R&D firms and multinational companies. So point number 1 is GATE acts as the admission criteria, a valid GATE score. Now I'll tell you what valid GATE score is later. Second one, GATE, a qualified GATE candidate will get financial assistance. That is, if you join for a master's program or a direct doctoral program, then there is a monthly stipend or a scholarship that is associated. So you all know that when you go for an undergraduate program, you need to pay the fees, whatever it is. In government colleges, it may be less. In private colleges, it may be more. So you have to depend on your parents at the age of 18 or 17. And when it comes to master's program, you need to pay the fees, but at the same time, you are getting a handful of scholarship money also. So the dependency on your parents is reduced. In my record, no other country is giving this generous scholarship to those who pass an examination at the same time when they are studying. In many Western countries, for PhD program, there may be fellowship, but for master's program, fellowship is there in very few countries, and that too at limited number of seats. So what you have to understand is, with the taxpayers' money, government is giving you money to study. Government is giving you financial assistance to study. Ultimately, if you study, if you get a good job, ultimately you and your family will get benefit. Automatically, there will be some reward back to the society. So that is the social commitment angle that you look. We are being taught by taxpayers' money. So we talked about GATE. One of the opportunities of GATE as admission criteria. Second opportunity of GATE is the financial assistance component. Now, how much is the financial assistance? If you join for a PG program for an MTech, then every month you are getting 12,400 rupees per month for a period of 22 months. And if you join for a direct PhD program after your BE or BTech, or if you're joining for a PhD program after an MTech, then for 5 years you are going to get fellowship. First 2 years it will be 31,000, and the remaining 2 years it is going to be 35,000. So some of the IT companies that they recruit, this salary structure is also between 30,000 to 50,000. So here at the same amount, of money, you are getting a higher degree, that too from an institute of repute. At the same time, you are getting a similar kind of a scholarship. So you are continuing your studies more or less by having some kind of a salary or an assistantship. The third and important one, which you may be really interested, is many public sector undertaking have started using GATE score in the recruitment process. So I have listed 21. This list is not an exhaustive. There are not many other companies also. You might have heard of some of these companies. So these companies are recruiting from GATE score. Previously, these companies used to have their own kind of an entrance exam, then followed by interview and all. Now, all the entrance exam is being eliminated. All the applicants to these two companies, they are supposed to fill up their GATE score, and based on the GATE score, there may be further rounds of selection process. But GATE is a mandatory condition for some of these companies. And if you look at these companies, some of them, especially in the power sector and oil sector, they are the Navaratna companies. And after your engineering program, if you join these companies as a technical officer, the kind of salary and pay package is much better than what many of the IT companies are been offering. And moreover, you are part of an important company, and later you may be part of advisory roles to the government also. So your engineering education is going to become more handy. Some of these companies I have marked in the red font. These are companies where there are opportunities for electronics and computer science or IT background students also. That doesn't mean that the others don't have it. Almost all companies recruit from electrical, civil, and mechanical streams. But when it comes to computer science and IT, there are few companies where there are higher opportunities, especially in BSNL and CARIS and all. Similarly, direct recruitment to Group A level posts in central government, especially like senior field officer, senior officer in the cabinet secretariat government of India, are being carried out on the basis of GATE score. So if you wanted to be a policy maker by part of the central government administration team, part of the executive, then also you should consider GATE as an option. So these are the three opportunities. Opportunity one is the admission is through GATE. Opportunity two is financial assistance is through GATE. And opportunity three is you have your public sector recruitment also done through GATE. So why to appear for GATE? If you look into the order of preference, one is coveted public sector undertaking jobs comes through GATE. Second one, if you wanted to do MTech or PhD in IITs, IISc, NIT or IIITs, the admission is strictly based upon GATE. Many of the core companies also, they look into your GATE score, because apart from the CGPA mark or that, and then you know that when it comes to the mark that you have for your undergraduate degree, you have semester examinations. At the end of semester, you will learn for a course, one particular course, and then you are going to write a 2 or 3 hour exam. Whereas GATE spans across subjects that you have learned from first year up to the 7th semester of your engineering or science program, whatever it is. And it's a comprehensive test of many subjects together. So sometimes companies, what they feel is, rather than looking at your score of your semesters, wherein you have focused the study on 5 or 6 subjects exclusively, whereas probably after the exam you may not be able to recollect all, but whereas there is an exam that spans across all of your syllabus that is being covered, then that gives more value. Moreover, it is an exam conducted by a national level agency. So some companies I have seen that recently, they are giving some weightage if you have a GATE score, because that makes you different from others. And there are selected foreign university also which recognizes GATE for their post-graduation program. I will talk about it later. So that is yet another opportunity. And there are many government-funded projects. When it comes to advising government, there are many faculty members from prestigious institute, many scientists from CSIR labs, DRDO, ISRO, and many labs. You get many funded projects wherein we are taking care of R&D works as per the policy set by national agencies. So there can be a lot of manpower vacancies in this. And these manpower vacancies, one of the mandatory condition is this junior research fellow, senior research fellow, project engineer in some of these government funded projects that is also filled up by GATE. Moreover, it is a quality stamping by a national level agency. Typically, your exam that you write during your undergraduate program, your university conducts the exam. It is a local affair, locally to the state. And sometimes if you study in an autonomous college, that is set by your own university or college. So there will be more value add if a third party tells that, okay, you have done a good course and this is what the score is all about. So it's a quality stamping by a national level agency. Higher studies in India through GATE, when you go for master's degree leading to specialization, you get a chance to study advanced subject leading to more research opening and PhD positions. At the undergraduate level, you may study 30 to 40 courses, some laboratories you may do, plus you may be doing a BE or BTech level project. The time duration spent for such a kind of project or dedicated work is minimal because you have to parallelly manage your other courses of the semester. Now, when you go for a master's degree program, it is a 2-year specialization degree where you may study 8 to 10 courses followed by a 1-year long thesis study. So the kind of involvement that you have in such a kind of a project topic will be really of a higher level depth. That is what exactly some of the companies wanted to look in. Somebody who have invested a lot of time and research on a specialized topic. Now, once you go for higher studies, you get better opportunities to get absorbed in more domain-specific or core companies from leading institutes. Sometimes we do have certain companies which recruit only master students or those who are recruiting students with a research background. Of course, higher salary packages are there for postgraduate students when compared to an undergraduate student. There may be some companies which may be giving same salary package, so postgraduate degree education is not required. But there exists a lot of companies which are really working on little bit of R&D side. They are looking for people with a master's and PhD qualification. And if you're looking for a faculty or a research position in an educational institute and in an R&D center, then a master's or a PhD degree is must for such kind of thing. So altogether, the advantage of master's program is what I have specified here. Moreover, you get a scholarship of 12,400 for a master's program per month or 35,000 rupees for a PhD program per month. It's a paid during your master's or PhD program. That means there is less financial dependency on the parents. Now, coming to higher studies at prestigious national institute, you know that the premier institute of the country, those who come in the top ranking like IITs, NITs and all, some of you might have aspired for admission in these institutes during your undergraduate days and you might have missed it by few marks or few score. So don't get discouraged with that. If at all you are planning for further study, there are a lot of seats that is there in IITs and NITs which is looking forward for bright candidates like you. What is the benefit? First of all, you have access to the state-of-the-art infrastructure. These are institutions where government spend crores of money every year, and it has the best of the infrastructure facilities, be in computing, be in the experimental setup, be it considered to hostel accommodation, qualified faculty, everything. You have the best infrastructure available in the country. So you are getting an elite chance for enjoying and experiencing this infrastructure. By virtue of it, you can upskill yourself. Some of you may be having already a placement that has been secured during your undergraduate program. So if you are from a normal engineering college and if you already got a job using your undergraduate degree, then you may be having in mind, why should I study further? Already I got a job. There is a different school of thought process. If in a normal engineering institute, if you got a job through campus placement with a 4-year undergraduate degree, that means you shown your caliber. You are good enough to get a job, even from a normal engineering institute. What if you study another 2 more years for an MTech or 5 more years for a PhD program in an institute of repute? Then obviously your skill set would be much more improved and the kind of placement that is waiting for you would be much better than this. So second aspect of why should you join prestigious national institute is they have world-class reputed faculty members who have shown promising research, patents, well-cited and high-impact research that they have done. They have done their degree from world-famous institutes and then come and value add. So what makes an institution really good? First of all, the best in the country wanted to study there. So there will be a competitive exam and only best students will get there. Second one, the best in the faculty profession wanted to teach there. So the best students, the best teachers land up there. And the best in the industry, the top companies also wanted to recruit from there. When this golden combination of the best students wanted to study, the best teachers wanted to have job in this institute, and best of the recruiters wanted to recruit from there, then that make an institution world class. So if you really wanted, if you feel that you are in that best, you wanted to access the best and you wanted to be hired by the best, then consider studying at IITs, and then for that, GATE is an important entry point. Moreover, it is an exposure to highly competitive peer group. Or suppose once you join, everybody who join with you in your class, they have all come through this competitive process. So all of them have been entering into the system through merit and merit only. So then your kind of interaction in the academic area, in the hostels, are all with students who have been doing very good work, hard work, good temperament, knowledge level and IQ level all put together. And so that your thinking process, your interaction process, your urge for learning all changes. See, whereas when you study in an institute where there is a government seat, there is management quota seat, then the kind of temperament that the students have may be varying a lot. Similarly, if it is completely from a private institute, then only parents who can afford a high fees can be learning from there, except you are getting some scholarship. Whereas when you are being going for a study where only your score matters, then you may get people, you may get your friends from all strata of the society, from rich to poor, across state boundaries, across caste and creed, and they all are high intellects. So that exposure is really going to change you a lot. And that's why many of the startup companies are all done by friends who met in the prestigious institute campus. Many of the IITs, NITs have MOU and tie-up with international universities, and there are frequent visits by academicians, Nobel laureate, Padma awardees, and all. This all makes the exposure altogether a different kind of learning. So exposure to international universities and academicians completely, and then there are a lot of students who are being funded for travel during their study in these institutes to foreign universities and all. So exposure with international university and academicians is another factor. And moreover, these are places where there are elite placements from top tier companies. So it's an entry point for elite placements. And sometimes it is an easy entry to develop the countries for jobs, for study, and for migration. Let's say you wanted to work in some other country, a higher degree from an institute of repute will be always a value adding to your visa application, for your immigration application. For studies also, let's say you wanted to do an MTech here and then a PhD in a Western university, the letter of recommendation and the quality stamping that you are studying in a prestigious institute will be significantly value adding. And the last one is migration. Let's say you wanted to migrate to some other country down the line. We don't know what is being kept for us, whether it's a kind of an economic hazard that happened in Sri Lanka, or natural hazards in terms of flood and rain that happened in Pakistan, or war kind of situation that has happened in Ukraine. We don't know what is there 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line. There are a lot of uncertainties. So looking at these uncertainties, the best way to do is you have to upskill yourself, try to get the highest degree possible, try to get exposure or let your degree be from a prestigious institute that adds a lot of value, such that down the line, if at all you wanted to migrate from one country to another, either in terms of job or settlement, your application will have more value. And when you have access to excellence, like institutes like IITs, NITs, or good universities, it will refine you and it will leading to an urge for excellence. Moreover, it is a lifelong prestigious track. Now, what are the priorities that typically students have? Generally, the top scorers, if your gate score is between 1 to 400 or 200, something like that, the general trend is they will opt for public sector companies because once you get a job into public sector companies, it is a good job with governmental salary structure, good benefits, good perks are there. So we see that sometimes top rankers join there rather than join for an MTech program in top tier IITs. But if you study for GATE, sometimes certain public sector companies, they conduct their own test, but it is more or less from the GATE syllabus. So you get the advantage of cracking them. So after the initial preference given to public sector companies, then the other students with a little lower rank, what they go for IIC or top IITs in terms of ranking. I'll talk about the ranking little later. Some of them will go for NITs or other IITs. Some of them later will go for triple ITs, NITs, state or central government universities, or prestigious other institute in the private sector. And then some of them will prefer some foreign universities which consider GATE score. And some of the private companies also, when it comes to recruitment, will give weightage to good GATE score. And like what I mentioned, R&D staff position, whether it is junior research fellow or senior research fellow position, they are also funded by this GATE score. So if you have a good GATE score only, you will be able to get into that. But in syllabus for many government and private university exam is also same as that of GATE. So how come a PSU hiring process? Generally in public sector companies, first you are shortlisted with the GATE score and there will be interviews after that where your knowledge level in various subjects will be checked. Your BTech project related discussions would be there. There can be HR related interviews and there can be group discussion after that, some of them. So what they do is ultimately at the end they make an aggregated score with 70% weightage to GATE, 70 to 80. It varies from company to company. The remaining 20 to 30% is for your interview score, your GD score, your graduation marks, awards, and achievements all put together. But some companies will take only from GATE. So what I wanted to tell is some companies will give a big chunk of weightage to GATE and remaining for your undergraduate degree marks, your interviews, GD discussion, everything. And some company based on GATE score, that is a final thing, and then you give the order accordingly. So Kushi, if you want, we can take some questions now, if at all anybody has. So this is halfway the talk where I introduce the subject. And there are a couple of slides that is coming, which is mostly about statistics and preparation, how to do. But I feel some round of questions, maybe we can spend 5 minutes now.
Yes, sir. If
So
anyone
some
has
people
any
are
questions,
raising hands, is it like that? So how to deal with it?
yeah, they can raise their hands or they can post their questions in the chat box. Any way you are comfortable. If anyone wants to ask a
Speak
question,
also we
please
can
raise your hand.
permit. If someone wanted to speak,
Yes,
then
sir,
they can
yes, sir.
unmute and speak, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they can unmute and speak.
Feel free to ask question. I'll spend 5 minutes time as a break here. If at all there is any question, we can take it up now. You can unmute and speak if you want. Rahul Raj has raised the hand. Can someone unmute Rahul? Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
Please ask Rahul. We can hear you.
Go for teaching job after.
Rahul, I'm not clear with your question. Can you ask the question once again?
Sir, if one go for PhD after his BTech degree, 4-year BTech
Yeah.
degree, can he go for teaching profession?
Yes, they can go for teaching position. One thing is some universities may tell you need to have an MTech also, so that you may have some extra credit or salary increments for your MTech. If it is direct BTech, PhD, IITs and NITs may take, but some state universities may have a restriction that you should have the MTech degree in between. But generally, government is trying to encourage. Maybe they will change the rule also, because there are a lot of PhD seats. So people can go for direct PhD as well. It depends from institution to institution. What is their criteria, minimum criteria, whether MTech is must. If you are selected for PhD, the meaning is you are as meritorious as a BTech student. That is the reason. So we have one question by Abhishek Kanti. What is the UG CGPA required by IITs? So if you look into the admission website of IIT, each IIT may have a minimum UG CGPA. They will tell 60% is 60 to 65% is only the minimum CGPA requirement. Then the admission is based on GATE score. So only a minimum CGPA cutoff, which is generally 60 to 65%. There is a proportionate reduction for the SCST candidates. Maybe 5% relaxation would be there. I hope I clear Abhishek Kanti's question. Then Sharad Kumar's question is, as IIT Kanpur is the organizing institute, so does it mean that they only prepare the question? No. The question paper preparation would be by the consortium of all of the institutes put together. It is not only. So organizing institute's main role is application portal. So the website for applying, that will be done. The payment of the registration fee comes to them. And they will coordinate the whole process of the QP preparation, the secretality maintaining, and finding a good channel partner to conduct the exam nationally. You need to have a computer center with some agency. So that is the role of the organizing institute. And the question paper setting is done by all of them put together. So then Ankit Singh question is, what is the best resource for preparation of GATE? The best resource is your textbook. You can even follow some of the good coaching institute if you prefer so. It's all about reducing surprises. I will come about how to prepare in the second portion of the talk. And if it is not clear, I can help Ankit question later. I'm going to talk about it.
So can we prepare by the Ncrt syllabus?
Yeah, see, the NCRT is basically the school syllabus, right? So what will happen is when it comes to the higher level learning, it is the AICT prescribed syllabus for engineering and UGC prescribed syllabus for science courses. So I will talk about the syllabus also. You can find it out what is the syllabus that is there. Any textbook that follows, it is okay. But considering examinations that is being done in objective manner in multiple choice, a computer-based exam, there is no descriptive writing. So it's more about practicing it in the time, in the regular time that is been allotted. More number of practice questions will help you. So you can follow any textbook, but what you need to have is try to get familiarity with as much number of questions of MCQ type or numerical answer type, which typically is asked in GATE. So Angop, did I clarify your query?
But I think that is NCRT syllabus for I'm talking about mathematics. Sir, deeply in NCRT, no? That's why I'm asking about.
Yeah. So whatever is the syllabus that is printed, there is nothing wrong in following any textbook. Only thing is you need to see whether the syllabus of GATE exam, let's say if you are looking for mathematics, the syllabus of GATE exam should be, all the topics should be there in the corresponding textbook that follow. Only thing is certain topics, certain textbook would be preferred over other. Okay, so I may not be able to comment on all the 29 subjects, but generally what happens is you have to see whether there is a good mapping, whether there is exhaustive coverage of the topics of the concerned syllabus. So NCRT syllabus that for mathematics, if you follow, there is no problem in it. Make sure it is completely covering the GATE syllabus of maths. Okay, so Chakochin has a question. Sir, can you tell about opportunities in foreign universities? I'm going to come to it. I will answer it. Which are the universities that is been doing? So if at all that question you feel still you may have a query at the end, you can ask the same question again. So another is, do previous year question papers help us to crack GATE? You will get an overall idea of what is the question pattern. Some of the questions can be repeated. So we don't know who sent the paper. Some of them can be repeated, but then 40 to 50% of questions are easy. So if you solve it in the last 4 to 5 years of question, you get a reasonable idea of what are the potential ways in which the questions can come. Subhasish Panda, can anyone join in a different batch irrespective of what paper he has given? So when it comes to admission, you can write any GATE exam. I'll talk about the different streams. You can write any GATE stream. There is no restriction. It should be related to your undergraduate program that you have studied. But when it comes to joining for an institution, the institution may tell, for example, MTech in computer science, you need to have any branch of ECE, EC, EI, EEE, any circuit branches with a GATE score in CS. So some institute will very specifically tell which should be the GATE exam that you should be writing, but with some relaxation in the undergraduate degree. Some will tell it should be very specific this undergraduate degree, but then there should be the second aspect is the GATE can be in any branch. So there is no dependency. It is institution specific when it comes to what is the minimum requirement. Samson has a question. Can a person be placed in government company like DRDO if you crack GATE? No, the placement of DRDO is not through GATE at this point, but there can be discussion that has been happening whether many of these government institution recruitment can be brought under. But if you have a very good GATE score, you have a very significant advantage when it comes to the interview. So because GATE is a national level exam and a score on that will be really giving you much more valuable points when it comes to the final selection. But DRDO selection is not based purely on GATE. So other question is, Kalpajit, the IITs offer MTech, PhD program, MS program, MS by research program. Each IIT is an autonomous institute. So you have to go to the corresponding IIT. There are 23 IITs and IAC. Go to academics and admission, and then you will be able to find out what are the postgraduate courses. So every IIT is free enough to start their own kind of interdisciplinary MTech program, MS program, then MS by research program, MS and PhD put together, MTech and PhD put together. All combinations are there. But in almost all the cases, GATE is mandatory. So it is the kind of degree offered is institution specific. So whatever question is in there in the chat, I'm able to convince now. So what we'll do is, to Kushi, we can go forward and we can take it the next round of questions at the end.
Yes, sir.
Going forward, now you imagine that you completed GATE, you have a good GATE score. Now you need to find out where to apply and how to apply. There are two things. First of all, if you are applying to IITs, there are 23 IITs, 7 of them which belong to Tier 1, then Tier 2, the other one who started in 2009, and another 6 or 7 started in 2016. So altogether 23 IITs. So there is something called COAP, Common Offer Acceptance Portal. So you have to apply once the GATE score is out. You have to apply through to the corresponding IITs of your interest by looking into what was the cutoff score last year and all. And then the IITs will not directly release the rank list to you. It will be done through a COAP, Common Offer Acceptance Portal. So you have to create a register in COAP, and in COAP you will come to know, okay, which IIT you got, where you are waiting list and all. So it's a single window of offer showing. Last year, IIT Bombay was entrusted with the responsibility of coordinating co-op. This year, it may be different. This is only for IIT admissions. Other one is for NIT, IIIT admissions. There is something called CCMT, Centralized Counseling for MTech Program. So that also one of the institute will be given in charge. This is, if you wanted to apply for an MTech program, then it is like a common counseling or a seat allocation system. So if your score is very good and if you're looking for only IIT, you have to apply in various IITs and then so register in COAP. If your score shows that you can get into NITs or the preference is NIT, go for CCMT. If your score is in between IIT to NIT, you apply in both and see where you can get. Now, how do you apply? How do you know which institutes are better? So there are a lot of ranking that happens. Many private ranking is being carried out. Very private surveys has been done by private entities. They collect some material and then you will see a lot of advertisement in the month of March, April and May. At the end of academic year and just before beginning of the academic year, you can see a lot of institutions telling that I am rank 1 within rank 100 and all. Sometimes you can see contradicting result. In one ranking, your ranking would be very high. In another, your ranking would be low. Sometimes your name may not be missing and all. So to avoid the confusion, to help parents and students, the government has come up with a systematic ranking procedure by considering various factors, including the admission criteria for students, qualification of faculty, publications and patents of the faculty, research level ranking, infrastructure facilities, placement, higher studies option, looking into various aspects. Various institutions in the country, every year they are ranked. They are ranked under the university category, under colleges which offer science, arts program, research institutions, engineering institutions, management, pharmacy, medical, dental, law and architecture. It is called NIRF, National Institution Ranking Framework. This is a very helpful website. You can go to NIRF website and find out what is the rank of each institution. There is an attached PDF file which is of many pages. So this will give you a comprehensive idea of what are the strengths and weaknesses of each institute. So especially for the engineering side, I have put into the ranks of 1 to 15 in 2022 NIRF ranking. Okay, and these are the rankings of 2021 and 2020. More or less, the first 6 to 7 entries are basically the same. They may vary. You can find similarly. I was just telling, since not many of you are from engineering background, I'm telling, if for science also, if you wanted to look into what is there, you can go to NIRF ranking and find out these institutes ranking. So you can see that rank 1 to 15, 1 to 10, it is Madras, Delhi, Bombay, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Roorkee, Guwahati, and NIT Trichy, IIT Hyderabad. This ranking, and you can see more or less the same number figures. So across years, consistently, these 15 institutes are able to make their presence. Since it is conducted by a national level agency, directly under the control of Government of India, and then there is some sort of trustworthiness that has gone into. And if you wanted to know about what are the parameters, this will really help you in making an informed decision. Coming into the rank band of 16 to 30. So I have just plotted only up to 30. First slide was about 1 to 15. This is about 16 to 30. You can know what are the institutions. Up to 350 it is ranked. Due to interest of space and time, I am not going to place them. So this gives you a rough idea of what is the ranking of the institute and what is the preference of the students across. Somebody asked about what are the foreign universities. So whatever ranking I shown, it's Indian ranking, National Institution Ranking Framework. There are very global level ranking also. So one is called QS ranking, one is called the DA Higher Education ranking. So these two universities in Singapore, which are world ranking 12 and 13, they take students if your GATE score is above 90. the gate percentile. Okay, gate score is above 90. And 2 universities in Germany, it has been shown, their ranking also has been shown. They will also take students with very high gate score. Now, considering gate is been written by close to 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs people every year, and it's a very competitive exam, many Western countries are feeling that in order to attract Indian talent, because there is always a huge demand for people who are writing a gate and getting top score. And through the consistent effort of Ministry of Education, Ministry and the External Affairs Ministry, there are a lot of talks that is been happening whether to make gate scored candidates have a better chances of getting absorbed in foreign universities. Within a few months, you will get to know a few more good news. So what I suggest is there can be a lot of development that happens. Many students wanted to recruit students from India. At the moment, these 4 universities, which are well ranked above the IITs and IISc, they are taking from the gate score. But remember, when you get admission into these universities, it will never be your scholarship you will not get. You will be getting only the admission. So these are the 29 different streams in which GATE exam would be conducted for GATE 2023. You can see that aerospace, the code is AE, agricultural, biotechnology, civil, mechanical, almost all streams are there. And the naval architecture and marine engineering, with a single star, that is a new stream that is added for 2023, and geomatics engineering. So some of them are very, very specialized area with less than 1,000 people will write, but some of them where that more than 1 lakh people are writing, mostly civil, mechanical, computer science, electrical, and electronics. These are the 5 which has close to 1 lakh students writing consistently. Now, who can write a GATE exam? A candidate who is studying in the 3rd year or higher years of any undergraduate degree program, or those who have completed any government-approved degree program in engineering or technology, or a master's program in science, physics, chemistry, maths, statistics. If you have completed an MSc degree, you're also eligible to write GATE 2023 exam. So for the engineering students, if you are in 3rd year, you can write GATE, and GATE score is valid for 3 years. So you will get a feel of how the exam is, and then you can improve upon in the next year. So like what I mentioned, the GATE 2023, Kanpur IIT is organizing, and the last date for registration is 30th of September. You can see the fee structure, and GATE always conducted on February 1st Saturday and Sunday, and 2nd Saturday and Sunday. So altogether, all these streams that you see here, these streams will be mapped to these 4 days. Every day there is a forenoon session of 3 hours and afternoon session of 3 hours. And the subjects, the GATE papers are mapped to various sections, and accordingly you will get. So up to 7th October, you can do the registration, and the exam would be February 1st and 2nd week, and you will get the scorecard by March 2nd week. Please do remember, September 30th is the last date. So this gives you a timeline. 30th September last date for applying. You can apply up to 7th October by an extra late fee. Until November 11, you can change the cities of preference, your category, anything, any mistakes or corrections that you can do. And you can download your admit card from the registration portal on 3rd of January. And 4th, 5th of February, 11 and 12, Saturday, Sunday, you have the GATE exam. And 16th March, it has been releasing. So the entire time chart, the calendar is well fixed. It's a well organized exam. You can see this. So for more details, visit the IIT Kanpur website, gate.iitk.ac.in. You would be able to get. Now, coming to exam pattern, it is a computer-based test for 3 hours, which consists of general aptitude as well as the stream-specific subject that you have taken. 3 types of questions: multiple choice question, multiple select question, and numerical answer type question. I will talk about it. And what do they check? They check all your recalling capacity. 40 to 50% of questions should be about simple recall, like trying to recall from the basic fact that you can learn. Very simple kind of question. Second category of question is little comprehension type. Some fact would be given, and based upon this fact, you have to comprehend the understanding and then give the result. Application is maybe in an equation or something, you have to substitute the values and then get it. And analysis and synthesis is based upon the context, you have to analyze certain things, and based that you have to make meaningful conclusion. So 4 different capabilities are checked in GATE exam: your recalling capacity, recalling of basic facts and basic information on a topic, comprehending something, apply your knowledge on something and get result, and analyze your subject. So altogether, there will be 65 questions on each GATE paper. 10 questions is on general aptitude and 55 questions is on subject. For example, if you write civil engineering, there will be 10 questions on general aptitude and 55 questions on civil engineering. So the mark split up, this 10 mark on general aptitude carries 5 1-mark question and 5 2-mark question that make it a total of 15 marks. There will be 13 marks from engineering mathematics and there will be 72 marks from the corresponding subject. So 72 plus 13, that makes it 85. That is total of 100 mark, and then we have 1-mark questions as well as 2-mark questions. So simple one would be 1 mark, little complex one would be 2 mark. So what are the kind of questions? Multiple choice question where the candidate would be provided with the 4 options. You have to click one of them. MCQ can be of 1 mark or 2 mark. If the answer is correct, you get 1 mark. If the answer is wrong, you will lose 1/3 of a mark. Likewise, if it is a 2-mark MCQ, you get 2 mark or you lose 2/3 mark if it is a wrong answer. Another category is multi-select questions. So there also it can be 1 mark or 2 mark. There can be more than one correct answers. You need to select all the correct answers, then only you get mark. There is no partial mark. There is no negative mark also. Third is numerical type question where the answer is a number. It can be fraction also, decimal also. So there is a virtual keyboard in the monitor, and using the virtual keyboard, you have to type them. For example, 12.34, 20. So the question would be framed in such a way that you have to fill up the answer as a number. But for MSQ and NAT type, there is no negative mark. Negative mark is only for MCQ. So there is always, you can try your luck also in MSQ and NAT. So, like what I told, 15 mark, 5 1-mark question, 5 2-mark question for general aptitude, 25 1-mark question, and 30 2-mark question for the subjects. Now, whatever mark you get out of 100, that is called your raw gate marks. Now, sometimes certain paper can be difficult. We cannot compare a mechanical engineering student with a computer science engineering student. So there is something called the gate score, which is your score is determined based upon what was the mark of the top 0.1% of students or top 10 candidates, whichever is larger. Accordingly, your score would be adjusted. So the gate score is computed by an equation. So where your actual mark out of 100 is known as M, and those entry SQ, where S stands for score, SQ, subscript Q stands for qualifying score. So T stands for top score, top 0.1% or 10 candidates. So MT stands for mark of top 0.1%. MQ stands for mark of qualifying candidate. What is a qualifying mark? So ST stands for score. So consider an example. Let's say the qualifying score is defined as 350 and the top 10 candidates or 0.1% of candidates, let it be 900. These are two things that is generally fixed, 350 and SQ. And let's say your mark is 50 out of 100. So the qualifying mark is 25 and the topper mark is 80. You apply your 50 mark in the equation, you will get it as 561. You can get the details in the brochure. So somebody with 50 mark, your score, gate score would be 561. The same 50 mark may be for a different branch. Let's say this is mark for computer science. If somebody got 50 in civil engineering, then the qualifying score, that is a qualifying cutoff, may not be 25. It can be 30. And the topper mark may not be 80. It can be 90. So accordingly, your score will also vary. So there can be some of students who are from mechanical discipline. This is what I am telling. Last 7 years, the statistics, 2014, 185,000 students wrote the mechanical engineering gate, and the number is coming down. Last year, because of COVID and all, the number was a little less. So 89,000 students wrote last time, and on the right side, you can see out of that 15,000 students qualified. So all these 15,000 students will have a gate score. Now the score is ranging from 0 to 100. So there are one candidate more than 90, what has been shown in the statistics. Between 50 and 60, we have 1,800, 60 and 70, 731, 70 to 80, 175. So roughly it means that a candidate with 50 mark, their score would be mostly around 3,000 would be the all India rank when it comes to mechanical engineering. So if you wanted to get into IITs and NITs and all, then your rank should be close to 1,000. So you should get something around 60, more than 70 mark is required in mechanical engineering if you wanted to get into top institutes. So you can see what is a topper mark. This table is a comprehensive mark over the years. What is a cutoff mark also vary. I will tell you how cutoff is calculated. So the saddest side is out of 89,000 who write, only 15,000 students get more than 28 marks. And if you are belonging to OBC or economically weaker section, 25 mark is enough. For SC/ST, 18.7 is required. So it's a very sad number. Students are not putting into effort. The number of MTech seats in the country is spanning across all government institutes, IITs, NITs put together would be much more larger than this. So this gives the statistics. Coming into civil engineering, last year 1 lakh students wrote, 17,000 qualified, and the cutoff score was 30. 30.4 was last year cutoff. Previously 29, 32, it keep on varying. Okay. And there is always a correlation between general to OBC, OBC to SC/ST, I will tell that. So civil engineering, 97 was the topper, whereas in mechanical engineering, only 90 was the country topper. So here also you can see that in civil engineering, more than 50,700, more than 60,000 candidates, more than 70. So not more than 70 to 80. It is 493, and there are 11 candidates who got more than 90. So civil engineering people are able to do it well. Coming to electrical engineering, last year we have 69,000 who wrote exam, 12,000 got qualified. And here if you look, the numbers are a little more interesting. If you get a mark of 50, then 2,700, 2,800 would be your all India rank. And then 30.7 was the cutoff. Coming to electronics and communication engineering, last year 54,000 students only wrote a GATE exam. When you can see the statistics, less than 10,000 only qualified. And then you see people who got more than 50 is 352. So how many candidates got more than 50 overall? 352 plus another 100. So only 500 people roughly, not even 500, lower than that. 450 people only got more than 50. Whereas the number is hugely different when it comes to electrical engineering. So what does it imply? If you get 50 mark in electronics, then your all India rank is going to be 450, which is good enough to get into some IITs or prestigious NITs. So all you need to study is 50% of the syllabus. It may be because of heavy job opportunity and many of the students are not writing GATE. Many bright students may be going for job directly. But your dream chance of studying in an IIT will happen if you get 50 marks. Coming to computer science and IT, it's one common paper for CS and IT. Last year out of 77,000, 12,000 students qualified. Here also number is more or less same. If you get more than 50 or 50 mark is all India rank 600. And then you see 50 mark is easy to score. All India 600 is a very good score. You may get sometimes if your rank is less than 200, you get public sector companies, the remaining only 40 that comes. So overall your statistics is clear. So this purpose of sharing the statistics is to tell you that based upon your mark, what is approximate rank that you can expect. Now, how do you compute the qualifying score? So for general category, either 25 mark out of 100 or mu plus sigma, whichever is larger, that is a qualifying score. What is mu? Average mean mark. And what is sigma? The standard deviation of mark. So mu plus sigma, if it is more than 25, let's say it's 30, then 30 is cut off. Mu plus sigma is 22, then 25 mark is cut off. So always cut off would be minimum 25. If mu plus sigma exceed 25, then that will be your cutoff score. So in computer science, it is generally 25, 26 and all. Civil mechanical, it should be more than 30 like that. So OBC score, it is 0.9 times of that of what is the general cutoff. And SC/ST cutoff is 2/3 of the general cutoff. And for papers like civil and mechanical with a large number of students writing, there is a normalization that has been done. All students cannot be accommodated in one session. So the entire student population is divided into two. So forenoon also civil exam, afternoon also civil exam. You may get to write only one of them. At the end, we normalize. So that's all about the preparation. And coming to GATE admit card, by January, you will get admit card which contains the register number. First 2 digits indicate the branch. The CE stands for civil. If you write the electronics, you get ECE. Next 2 digits will tell you the year of writing GATE exam. So 23 would be the year. And then there are 8 sessions for GATE. 4 days, forenoon and afternoon. So 8 sessions. Which session you are writing? S1, S2, etc. up to S8. And then there are different zones also. The Bombay zone, the Delhi zone, the Madras zone, like that. So there are 8 zones. Like you told, there are 8 zonal institute. So the zone number, within the zone, there is a specific exam center. So that is called the center code. And then the candidate registration number. This is how your admit card looks like. And this is how the scorecard. If you have a cutoff score, then you can download your GATE scorecard, your name, registration number, examination paper will come. What is a mark that you scored out of 100? So this is 68.33 out of 100. All India rank is 221. Your gate score, I told about conversion from score to, mark to score, 796. 93,000 people wrote the gate exam, where 33 was the cutoff, and this candidate score was 68. That's why his 221 is a very good rank. Now, I have just told about 5 popular branches where GATE writes. Some of you may be from other branches. You can find out from the brochure what are the subjects. Mechanical engineering, even though you may be studying all various 40 subjects, GATE is only based upon these 4 subjects, what is being shown. For civil engineering, there are 7 sections, but you may not see section 1, section 2. There are 7 basic subjects in civil engineering whose knowledge level is checked in GATE. So it's not all the 30 or 40 subjects that they learn. For electrical engineering, these are the 10 subjects from which GATE exam paper is being set. For electronics and communication, these are the 8 subjects from which paper is set. And for computer science, these are the 10 subjects, CS or IT. These are the 10 subjects which the GATE exam is being set. So this gives you a fair idea about what all subjects you need to concentrate. Now, depending on, so you may be spanning across the country, depending on your zone. So people in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana, Andaman, they comes under IAC Bangalore Zone 1. So these are the cities. You can give the preference of cities. I just told us. So these regions, these states come under, and the northern portion of Kerala, it comes under IAC Bangalore Zone, which is called Zone 1. Then the Western India, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, they come under IIT Bombay Zone. You can see the different cities. So you may be able to locate which is the nearby city where you can write the GATE exam. Zone 3 belongs to Delhi region, which involves Jammu Kashmir, parts of Haryana, Ladakh, Madhya Pradesh, New Delhi itself, parts of Rajasthan, and Western UP. It's IIT Delhi. IIT Guwahati consists of all the northeastern states and some portion of Bihar and some portion of West Bengal. IIT Kanpur zone consists of Madhya Pradesh, few cities, and all the cities in the eastern portion of UP. And Kharagpur, you have the northern portion of Andhra Pradesh, the entire Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha complete, and southern cities of West Bengal. IIT Madras zone consists of rest of Andhra Pradesh, southern portion of Kerala, Pondicherry, the entire Tamil Nadu, and some portions of Telangana also come under IIT Madras zone. And IIT Roorkee zone consists of Haryana, the Ambala city, Himachal Pradesh, entire Punjab, and some portions of UP and the entire Uttarakhand. Like that, the 8 zones, you can find out where it is. Now, coming to the exam fee, female candidates need to give only 850 rupees per paper. You can write at most 2 GATE exam paper. For SC, ST, PWD candidates, it is 850. For all other candidates, it is 1,700 per paper. You have provision to write a GATE exam from Dubai, Singapore, Dhaka, and Kathmandu. There are 4 centers outside the country. For Dhaka, Kathmandu, it is $100 US. For Dubai, Singapore, it is $200 US. Now, how to prepare for GATE? I have already flashed down for 5 of the branches. I don't know what is the other branch of the participants, which is not conveyed to me, but then you can find out from the brochure what are the subjects. You try to focus on these subjects. Maybe you can skip 1 or 2 subjects because you are not able to score all 100. Reasonably 60 to 70 marks scoring, you can even skip, and even computer science, electronics, even you can skip 4 or 5 subjects completely and concentrate on the other. Self-study for fixed number of hours per week using good study material is good. Plan like 1 hour, 2 hour every day and weekly of 10 hours. If you start preparing, that is more than enough. And you identify which are your strong subjects, concentrate on that. Weak subjects, some portion you may study. And the GATE portal have previous exam question papers. So solving previous exam question papers would be always an added benefit. And it is all about less surprises. When you go to an exam, if you have seen some of the questions early, the pattern, you may be knowing how to do. So practice gives perfection. There are practice tests and mock exams which some private agencies conduct. Even IITs conduct mock exam. You can appear for it to get a feel of how GATE exam is all about. For engineering students, you can try in the 3rd year and get a feel and improve in the 4th year. For MSc students, you can write in the 1st year of MSc itself and then improve the score after the 2nd year. So you can write exam when you are 3 years completed after 12th. And sometimes I ask some students, even if they get a campus placement job, if it is in the IT sector, you may go to level 4 or level 5 in a company salary structure. You go for 1 year full-time GATE preparation, take a 2-year MTech program or a PhD program. With a PhD program, you may be going to level 8 or level 9. So typically, it may take 10 years or 12 years to move up your salary from level 4 to level 8. Whereas with a PhD degree, your salary would be placed much higher above that. So if you look into some students who get placement immediately and settle after placements, some of them will crucially, especially in the states of Karnataka, in Bangalore, in Chennai, and in Kerala, people wanted to settle with a job early. Whereas some of the North Indian cities and in Andhra, some places, where we see they don't want to settle with a job. Even if they get a campus placement job, they go for a full-time GATE coaching or preparation, get a rank within 500, get into IITs, get an MTech degree, go for elite placements. So 10 years or 5 years down the line, somebody who got a campus placement and immediately joined after your engineering or a science program versus somebody who comes with an extra degree, life is much more comfortable, but more better salary structure. So I recommend, if you are not able to manage your preparation this year, go for a full-time coaching or good time preparation from your end. I have advised to many students doing like that. I will tell a story also. One student who got a good campus placement in one of the reputed colleges in Kerala. It was in the IT sector. And then I asked him, if you are interested for MTech program or so, go for full-time coaching. He went for full-time coaching in Delhi or Hyderabad. I don't know the exact place. And after a year, he got a very good GATE score. He got into IIT Madras for master's program, completed, and then got a very good placement. So if he compare with his other friends who joined immediately after BTech with their salary structure and all, much higher, much more better work profile, and then that is the difference. And stay focused. These are hard days, but would be rewarded. That's only what I wanted to tell. We have a separate Nptel Gate exam portal also, which consists of live mentoring sessions, Gate syllabus mapping, video solutions to previous question paper, Grace practice set, all are there. So this will really help you. If you don't have any other material, you will be getting good live Gate classes from this Nptel. This will be always helpful for you. So now it is time for taking any questions. If at all you wanted to further write, you can write it to me. Open for questions. So the presentation is over. And then if at all someone wanted to ask a question, it is there. So,
Good evening, sir.
Malabhaskar, yes, ask Malabhaskar.
Sir, I have came to know about some 2-year MTech program or 3-year MTech program in this IITs. Is there something like that?
Yeah. So like what I mentioned, every IIT has their own flexibility of offering new programs. So some IITs have a 3-year MTech program. So the number of courses, the number of subjects that you take every semester is little less. Right from the first year onwards, you are working on your master's project or thesis. So it is more of research oriented, with less time for going to classroom, sitting and there, and more into working for research. So anyway, you get 3-year fellowship, scholarship. So it's a 3-year MTech program with more effect, more preparation towards your research. The other 2-year MTech program is structured. Within 2 years, it may get over. That is the difference of it. It varies from institution to institution. And somebody asked previously also, difference between MTech and MS. MTech is generally structured program, 2-year program. Generally, exceptions are there like 3-year MTech, where at the end of 2 years, you will get the degree for sure. And there, it is based on your mark percentage. It is mostly course specific. A lot of courses you take with a 1-year project. MS, few IITs have this MS program, less amount of coursework and more of thesis. And it can go, you can complete in 1.5 years. It can go up to 3 years. It all depends upon the completion of the thesis work, and thesis has to be accepted by a committee. That is a difference. There is another question from Madhav Natarajan. How long should an average student prepare for GATE? This question been answered. I joined a little late. Apologies. No, this question is not answered, Madhav. If you are now currently working or studying, then I recommend you will be able to spend at least 10 hours in a week. It is good. Go for previous question papers. And so what I did was 20 years before, let's say I take a topic called data structures. I learned the concepts. Then I try to solving questions from the study material, which gives you a lot of GATE type questions. I take 20 minutes of time. I try to solve 20 questions on an average, and then I check whether the answer is correct. So I also work under a rigid time constraint. Take the next 20 set tomorrow. That's the way how I work. So weekly 10 hours would be sufficiently good. But if you really wanted to get good gate score, which is very difficult along with your studies or job, whatever it is, there is nothing wrong in going for one more year of gate coaching. See, sometimes, when you go to doctors, some of the doctors whom you consult or whom you get treatment from many of the hospitals, they might have prepared for PG examination, the PG entrance examination, by spending 1 year or 2 year extra. And there is nothing wrong with respect to the medical skills what we have. There is nothing wrong if you feel that it is worth spending 1 full year for preparation and getting into very high score. That would be really helpful. Tulip Roy's question is, can you give some idea about direct PhD program? Direct PhD program is after BE or BTech, you can directly apply to a PhD program without an ME or MTech. So recently it is announced, so you should have a good percentage of mark or CGPA of 75% or equivalent. That also is subjected to variation from one institute to another. And you should have a gate score. So what they do, they cut off gate score would be the gate score of 600 or 700 plus 75 mark in BTech. These will be shortlisted for a written test in the corresponding place. So for PhD, it is not based on gate score. Gate score is a cutoff. You should have a gate score with a reasonable cutoff score. Then you go to the corresponding IIT for the entrance exam there. And then if you qualify the entrance exam and interview, you get a direct PhD admission. And that is the difference. If you complete from MTech, you may take, let's say, 4 courses before you start research. If it is PhD, you may take 6 or 8 courses. It varies from institute to institute. Arya Ajay's question is, you will not get how to get a scholarship for studying in a foreign university. This is disconnected from GATE. Some foreign university will take you if you have a good GATE score, but the scholarship is not based on GATE score. Foreign universities, these professors may have their own funding. So at a master's level funding, there are very limited options. But if you go for a PhD in some foreign university, if the professor has funding for it, then you get scholarship. So you need to visit the professor's website, and when you apply for foreign university, look at the department, look at the website of the corresponding professors whom you are then interested, write to them, and professors with a lot of R&D project funding. It's basically, so in foreign universities, it is the professors giving you the scholarship, whereas in Indian university, the institute giving you the scholarship. It is not connected with the professor. Then Trishit Mukherjee, after GATE exam to get into IIT's, IAC in MTech program, do we need to sit for an interview in the respective institutes? The answer is no. Many institutes, most of the institutes, especially the NITs, no interview. The IITs, most of them will recruit from the GATE score. Some may conduct an extra exam if it is on a specialized topics. You need to go to this institute, but that is only for 1 or 2 IITs. Most of the 20 IITs, they recruit only from the GATE score. And through COAP portal, you will be seeing that which IIT has given you the offer. What is the right time to begin preparation for GATE exam EC? Currently, you are in 3rd semester. So Ankit Singh, very good that you attended today's talk. Even if you are in 3rd semester, start now, because the syllabus consists of mostly topics for analog digital circuits and electromagnetics, everything that comes in 3rd, 4th, 5th semesters. So you can devote 5 to 10 hours a week, and that is good enough. And then you write GATE in your 6th semester and then reappear again in your 8th semester. There is no restriction on the number of appearances that you can do. There is no restriction on the age. There is no restriction on the paper that you can write. Sir, can we get direct job in ISRO through campus placement from IIST after taking admission test? No. If you are a student from ISRO, if you are a student from IIST, you may not get, but then you have an added preference because the ISRO is closely connected to IIST, Indian Institute of Space Technology, but there is always a recruitment test or interview process that the ISRO does, where because you have more lines, some of these courses like avionics and aerospace engineering is more connected to the ISRO, there is always a higher chance that when you come to the interview, you have a better probability because you're already aware about some of the subjects what ISRO is looking at. Murshida's question, could you please explain about PhD after MTech through GATE score? So PhD after MTech through GATE score, if you wanted to get a scholarship, then you need to have a GATE score at some point. So that is what the recent regulation of Ministry of Education. So you may join MTech with a GATE score, and then at the time of PhD, no fresh GATE score is required. Whatever GATE score that you have is good enough. And it is institution specified, where you can look into the institutions as well. So after MTech, if you apply for a PhD, then First thing is you have to apply. They will call you for the written test and interview. You should have a gate score, but your selection is not based on gate score. The selection is based upon the performance in written test and interview. So Vishal Moro, is higher study MTech mandatory for all UG students? If not study MTech, then can we succeed or not? See, what Vishal you have to understand is there are close to 10 lakh engineering graduates coming out every year. Now there may be a job demand in some of the branches, you may get a job. But some of the specialized jobs, whatever your 4-year exposure in an undergraduate program may not be sufficient. You may get a job now, but whether it's a good career-oriented job, 5 or 10 years, whether you would be able to enjoy, you don't know. And some of the research level kind of job, where companies invest more into products, they want people with some research skill, with some extra fine-tuning of an extra degree. So having one more degree would be always helpful, and that too if it is from a very good institute. So when you do MTech, try to see that you do in good central universities, NITs, IITs, and IIITs. So Ashutosh Mandal, placement in IIT in MTech, yes, it is very good. Placements are there. Being IIT, you get one of the good placements. Now, the other thing is MTechs can go for campus placement. The other one is MTech you do with a professor, your thesis. And there will be a lot of contacts for these professors in industry also. So sometimes a letter of recommendation from the professor would be helpful in getting internships in this industry, which can later be converted to regular jobs. Tulip Roy's next question is how to decide between doing an MS or an MTech. So MTech is a 2-year structured program where you look for certain kind of skill set. MS is little challenging, and those who like challenge, you will get a more of a research flavor. So in that way, if you're looking for a PhD program abroad, then the MS program would be helpful. If you're looking for an immediate job, I may suggest MTech. But the MTech, it is regular structured, just like BTech. Every semester you have 4 to 5 courses. You have to do some lab. But MS, your coursework is less. You'll be spending more time on research. So if you wanted to have a profile in research, go for MS. If you wanted to have a profile not in research, go for an MTech. So Moha Manka, the launch little later, you want to know about COAP portal. So COAP is a common offer acceptance portal. After getting a gate score, if you wanted to do an MTech, apply to the corresponding IIT. COAP is only meant for IITs. Let's say out of 23 IITs, you apply for 10. But these 10 IITs won't directly communicate back to you that you are shortlisted. Your offers, what is a rank list, what is a merit list, will be seen through only COAP portal. So COAP portal is a single window by which you can able to see what is the offer that you get, and you can lock, I want this IIT, or I want the higher preferences, whatever it is. You can visit COAP portal and get to know more about that. Is a scholarship given to everyone who clear gate and get admission through it? Okay, so scholarship is given only if you get into an admission through gate scores. And then the institute may have facility with the AICT to get the AICT gate scholarship. And sometimes people get in regular every month. Sometimes you get as a lump sum of every 2 months or every 3 months. Anyway, per month, 12,400 rupees that you will get. So it is not only about valid gate score. You should get an admission for a master's program. And for this scholarship, you may be doing little bit of teaching assistance work, weekly 4 hours or 8 hours of work. You assist some faculty member to help in the undergraduate lab, correction of some answer sheet, some grading of assignments. That's what it is being done. So in Bravado scholarship, you may get some work experience also. So Gogol is asking one question. Can you suggest some mock gate sites? So mock gate sites, see, you can actually, because I am not familiar with that, there are a lot of coaching centers and this preparation institutes. Some of them have this online portal. Now directly the name is not coming to me. But then one thing is the Nptel will offer always this mock gate examination link. So people who are from financially poor background, you have to understand along with a master's program, you may get this gate scholarship amount also. So you are not completely relating on it. And many IITs and NITs, they have special financial incentive scheme for poor and needy. So after you get admission, you have to apply your case. And based on genuinity of the case, the institute may have special fund for weaker sections and poor sections. You can avail that also. So especially in IIT NIT system, money is not that a problem. So try to look into the corresponding sections in each IIT where you can do. But in a PhD, if you get 31,000, that is a good amount that you can save and support your family. Yes. So institute have gate score cutoff or rank cutoff. Both are same. Sometimes some institute prefer rank cutoff. Sometimes some institute prefer gate cutoff. So score and the gate cutoff is more or less similar. If 2000 rank means there will be some gate score cutoff. It is there. It is mutually complementing. So it's basically they know how many students are there above that cutoff score or cutoff rank. So that is what some institutes prefer. So all you need to do is to score well, get a good gate score. Any more questions?
So as we have already reached a certain time, I think any further questions we can take over email. I would request all the email participants that if you have any other questions, you can mail it to us on our email ID, that is IEEE India Council Student Coordination Team at gmail.com. Else, as Sir has also presented his email ID, you may try to connect with him and get your doubts clear. If that is okay.
Yes, that sounds perfect, Shalini. If any student wanted to speak about any feedback, was it useful? What was their perception? Did they get any more clarity? It would be helpful for us to refine the content of the talk. If anyone wanted to speak.
Sir, on behalf of all the participants and also IEEE India Council Student Coordination Team, we are really grateful that you took this session, because it was such an in-depth session that I am sure that the concept of GATE and all the queries related to GATE were demystified, were simplified for our participants, and I'm sure that they have taken a lot of knowledge and points related to GATE from this session. So thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you all. Thank you for the opportunity. If at all there are more queries coming, if your student team wanted to organize one more session later, I would be happy to have one-to-one interaction over a Google Meet with the candidates that are interested.
Sure, sir. Yes, sir. And also, sir, may I take this opportunity to present a small memento that our team has created, so that for your effort and for taking some time from your busy schedule in order to take this session. So let me just do this quickly. So thank you so much, sir, for taking this session, which is for demystifying GATE. And I'm sure that all the participants who have attended this event have taken a lot of knowledge about this particular exam. And also, for all the participants, we want to inform you that this session was also showed on YouTube. So you can go to our YouTube channel and again go through the session if needed. And we will also share the link of the YouTube video with you all shortly. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir, for taking this session.
Okay. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.